Welcome to another edition of the Bigger Than Big Show. I'm your host, the King of Pain, Renee Renstar Rodriguez, with my co-host,
Brother Greenpoint. What's up, everybody?
Chilling. Good stuff, man. We have a great show for you today. We have two special guests. We have Mr. Jeff Classic Beckham and Broda. Present our gentleman at the end there.
Of course. The one and only Antonil Champagne. How you doing, bud?
That's what's up. Thanks you guys for coming down.
Thanks for having me.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. We're gonna go. We have a good show for you today. We are going over products. We're gonna go over these gentlemen, what they're up to these days, what shows they're gonna be doing, what products they have coming out, and they actually traveled to South America.
Yes, they did.
So we're gonna definitely get into that. I want to know what went on down there, and what's the future hold for the South Americans out there and us, the natural vitamins, because we're doing a lot of different things. We also have some sales going on. That I'll have Broda.
Yeah, it's going to actually happen on Saturday. It's going to be from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. It's going to be 40 plus 5%. Anybody that, buys around like $100 is going to receive, some samples and a free shaker. Now, since I mentioned that, we will honor this discount if you mentioned, what was the word for it?
The Bigger Than Big Show, man.
Yeah. The Bigger the Big Show, we're going to honor, the discount for you if you mention, the Bigger Than Big Show. And, of course, if you watch it.
Absolutely. So, guys, if this airs, whenever you see this episode, definitely just mention it. We will honor the sale.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good thing.
That's true. Now, recently, you mentioned that we're going to talk a little bit about South America and what's going on with our guys. But have you heard that recently there's been the first edition of the Olympia Amateur Championship that took place from the 12th to the 15th of June in the city of Acapulco, Mexico?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did. Amateur's the first time that they have it down there in South?
Yes.
Actually in Mexico?
Yes, sir.
So what was going on over there? It was a good show. I saw a little bit of it.
I seen the reviews. It was pretty good. There's some what you call photos from it on the ifbb.com. If anything, you people can check it out. We should provide the link on Natural Vitamins group, if anything, also.
I definitely like that they're having it out there in Mexico.
Yeah.
Just broadening it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, news on IFBB and whatnot. They actually adding a category to the Arnold. Did you hear for 2015?
No, what is it, Renee?
They actually are adding the physique, women's and men's physique.
Oh, wow.
So now, as you can see, you're going to have, I guess, the current champion.
Uh-huh.
You have Mr.,
so
himself.
Yeah. So were you saying it's going to be 150 people more then?
You're not kidding. Yeah, it's definitely going to have a lot more competitors, but you're going to have Mark Anthony there. You're also going to have Dana Lynn Bailey.
Excellent.
Which is going to get to see at the Arnold.
Yes.
I'm excited to see that.
Me too, man.
She's
a
but while
great
we're
girl.
on this topic, right, I just have to do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put on my boys' shorts. So should I be doing physique? You guys let me know.
Jeff, not for nothing, man. You just did the New York Pro, and you look, and that's just I would say like maybe a month ago, whatever it was. You look huge. What have you been doing for the last 4 weeks?
Wow.
You eating, man.
Kind of an open-ended question, but Beckham Cookies definitely come to mind when I think about the whole, gaining weight and But honestly, I just been eating, man. That's one of the things that I feel like I wasn't doing as much of. I'm sorry. So I just been really getting my meals in, waking up 4 a.m., getting my first meal in, and I'm pretty much eating 8 to 10 meals a day, and that's not even including shake.
I've always wanted to ask you, do you actually sing in the shower, Jeff?
If you're listening, sometimes I end up.
Cool, man. Excellent. Hey, I got a. Since we're talking about your cookie, I got a quick question for Pete. Pete, have you ever tried Jeff Beckham cookie?
No, I actually haven't tried it yet.
All right, you gotta try it. This stuff's
that guy a
awesome,
cookie.
man. I swear to God, and believe me, there's nothing. It is, man. I
Thank you so
I
much.
eat them on a daily basis. I mean, now I can because
they
been
order a lot.
But yeah, if anything, listen, since we're talking about your product, you mentioned something that you're gonna expand a bit. Could you tell us more about
Absolutely. I'm actually getting a lot of good reviews, and it's definitely been a blessing thus far. First, I want to give a shout out to, Pops, Gino Sylvain, for just putting the whole cookie situation together for me. So if you're listening, thank you so much for, helping me with this product and putting this together. In addition to that, I'm gonna be coming out with about 2 or 3 other flavors that I'm working on. Within the next couple of months, I'll be launching one of them. I'm not gonna give you guys the exact flavors, anything yet.
I was hoping
yeah,
you
nah, I can't.
Keep it on the down low.
Because I'm still in a taste testing process right now, but it'll definitely be along the same lines and the same quality cookie that I have going on with the first one, with having oats, peanut butter, a hint of sugar-free white chocolate, and also a hint of cinnamon in it. So I'm really looking, I'm really looking forward to the future Beckham cookie. And I also will be introducing 4 different athletes within the near future that I'll be sponsoring alongside my cookie. One being real fast and real quick is Teron Beckham, my little cousin. Watch out for him. He's doing physique for Team Universe, so definitely watch out for him. And he's one of the people that, of course, have to. It just only makes sense that he's going to be one of my sponsor athletes. So Teron Beckham, good luck at Team U. Watch out for my little cousin Teron Beckham coming to a stage near you. Team Universe next up.
Absolutely, man. That's good to see that you're evolving. You're not just an athlete, but you're an entrepreneur. I love to see that, especially as a young gentleman as yourself. You're broadening your horizons. I love to see that in terms of gentlemen like that. I love to see that, and I continue to see good things coming from you in the near future, I'm sure. And I'm excited to see what you come up next, man, because it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.
And just to see what you come up with next, because I love that. That's what we need in this world. Is what we need in terms of the bodybuilding, not just the bodybuilder.
Yeah,
you bring more to this to the table than just your physique on stage.
I mean, just a complete package, man.
So much.
I like that.
All
I
right.
like that.
Now my second question is to Anthony, man. How you been, man? What's been going on with you, buddy?
I'm under a rock.
You're under a rock. All right, what kind of rock is it?
A big rock.
Not for nothing, Anthony. You're huge, buddy. No, to be honest, Anthony just came off surgery. I think we said like 4 weeks ago, something like that, man. How you feeling?
I'm okay, you know. I'm still having a little bit of pain here. Not even pain. I just would say just uncomfort. That's it.
Okay.
Right.
I know you're eager to get back in the gym, lift some big weight. You got to take it easy. You know, one thing is that rehab, man. It counts just as much as that surgery is not doing too much too early.
I fight not to do stuff. I swear. I fight not to do stuff.
How's your diet? Are you eating too much these days?
No,
like really?
no, because I would get fat. I'm telling you, I've been cooking. This is something I've never done before, I'm being honest. I normally cook all my meals for the day, that day. I get up at 5 and I cook my meals for that because I don't like. Now I cook my food for 4 days, freeze them. I see other guys do it. I'm like, I can't eat stale food, but it makes it so much easier. Yeah. I never knew it was so much easier.
Well, you know what? This time now you're getting to understand different way of doing things from your old routine. You're starting to evolve now, man. That's a good thing. I mean, these injury, you're learning a lot of different things of how to take care of yourself. For one, rehabbing. 2, cooking your meals like you usually do. You usually do it on a daily basis. Now you're putting stuff aside, man. That's good. That's good stuff, man. You're evolving as an athlete. That's for sure. Yeah. I can't wait to see you. I mean, in terms of now, what are you going to do? What's your next show? What are you looking at? What's your future look like?
Well, I want to wait at least 3 more weeks before I start working on my body and see where I'm going from there. Right now, I'm about 258. Thank God for squats and legs. That actually does. When people say, when you do legs and squats, it actually keeps your upper body growing. And I haven't done upper body in 2 months, And from the time I got the injury, I was 268. All I lost is about 9-10 pounds.
That's not too bad. And now, for people that don't know about your injury, what happened?
I tore my long head of the bicep. I can tell you one thing, sometimes when you want something so bad, you're so determined. When I was getting ready for New York Pro, I didn't want to stop. So what I would do is I was going 3 months straight. I didn't take 1 day off. When I say no days off, no day. I went 7 days a week for 3 months. And that's how I injured myself, because I wouldn't stop. I kept thinking, somebody's out there doing. That's just the kind of person I am, and call it either egotistical or just crazy or whatever it is. I just didn't want to lose, and that's how I am. I don't like losing. I know it will happen to everybody. It's happened to me before, but at the same time, I overdid it a little bit too much. I trained too many times. Some days I was at the gym 3 times when I should have only been at the gym once, or even in bed sleeping and enjoying the rest of the day.
Yeah, that's right.
I had tunnel vision,
Well, you want to become a champion. That's what champions do. You guys work relentlessly. You have a goal, especially being in the New York Pro, your hometown. You want to put together the best package you can, so you can show everybody around who's the king of New York.
Yeah, I didn't want to disappoint anybody. I don't like letting people up all my life. I've always carried a lot on my shoulders, And with Natural Vitamins, MHP, right there, how could I go into a show and do less than what I did last year, So I'm expected to do not just first call out, but actually either win or even up there with the top 2.
Yeah.
And I didn't see myself, I don't go in there, I get tunnel vision, I don't see myself doing other than that.
Raising the bar, man.
Oh, well, that's for sure.
Quick question for Pete. Pete, have you ever done squats?
I was actually just telling Renee, I went back to doing squats yesterday for the first time in like a year.
Really?
Yeah, well, you know what? Tell him the detail in terms of and I asked him, what took you so long to get back? It was an injury. He goes, yeah, you know what? Your IT band, in terms of right outside the sweep by the knee, he was having a lot of...
I used to be pretty big on training legs, actually, but then I started developing pain in my IT band, that's that thin line that runs down the side of your quad into your knee. And squats just really aggravated it to the point where actually I started squatting differently and got a back injury from it. So I said, I'm just going to stop squatting. I'm going to just do leg extensions, leg curls. I did that for about a year, let everything heal. So I went back to it yesterday for the first time in about a year.
Yeah, I saw Pete at the gym yesterday, and he was like, I'm doing legs. I was like, oh. First time in a while, but no, feeling great?
Everything felt good. I was really surprised. And the strength was still pretty good. I probably kept about 85-90% of it.
That's good, man. You're looking fantastic, man.
So what you're saying is the only time you're squatting right now is in the bathroom.
Yeah, we'll get back to it.
Exactly. Yeah, broda.
All right.
Thank you, man.
You know what it is, man. We keep it light, man. We keep it right.
That's what's up. But back to Anthony. Anthony, I definitely want to go into the process of now your 4 weeks from surgery. Are you been talking to your doctor in terms of rehab? What are you going to do with physical therapy? When do you start physical therapy?
Well, I'm supposed to start next week, but of course, I know everybody's gonna say, don't rush it. I mean, all I have done is just moving my rotator cuff, learning to move my rotator cuff, and I can bring my arm up to about shoulder length,
like in terms of that. Okay.
And I was reading up a lot of things. I don't want to just depend on the doctor only. What else can do for my shoulder? And next week when he's gonna show me some more things. But,
okay.
That's all we're going to do for the shoulder and the bicep. You can't do anything else besides just wait and let it recover.
I got you. So you have an open communication with your doctor, so you have a good relationship with him.
Yeah, you know what it is? Because he's also a pretty young doctor, too, so he understands. He's not one of those older guys, like 60s. He's actually 40, so that's young for being a doctor, and he does listen to me. I mean, and I like that, So... He's keeping me up to date with the things I have to do. I've also learned a lot about myself. I said that in the beginning, the first time when we started, about how the body works, how certain supplements are really good for your body. I mean, athletes, please keep that glutamine, keep that omega, and keep that those vitamin C's in your system. The doctors really recommend those things, keeping the anti-inflammatories down and keeping the omega.
And you see it that it actually is working in terms of your process and healing. You're feeling much better because of your in terms of the supplementation.
My mobility, I'm squatting now, with the Smith machine, but I keep my hands. I know some of you guys that watched my my Instagram, you wonder why I keep my hands like this, because I'm not allowed to put my hands above this level. So I always squat. I'm doing this, I'm leg pressing, I'm doing like this, I'm walking lunges, and it's like, well, how do you walk and lunge with weights? Well, I have a backpack. I'm inventive, and I throw weights in the backpack, and I do those things, but I'm not allowed to move my hand above a certain level.
Well, at least you're keeping it that. A lot of guys just, in terms of, they start too early, and that's how you injure yourself. So I'm glad you're taking the precautions, really take your rehabs really strict and really seriously, because that's going to show you how much better you can be in terms of getting the process started when you want to do a show again and start just going back to normal. Right. A lot of guys start too early prematurely. And in terms of doctors, and I mentioned this with him, I think an episode ago, for myself, I actually had to go to the doctor today. Get yourself a doctor that really can relate to you, that have an open communication. You won't be afraid to tell them what you're taking or supplementation that you're doing, because a lot of doctors, they frown upon different things, or they don't understand bodybuilders or the certain levels that you have. For myself today, I'll go into something that's really personal with me. I just went to the doctor yesterday, and I had to get an MRI. My levels were a little bit high in certain things, in terms of like my kidneys and my liver. And so we didn't understand why. So now my doctor had me take an MRI today. So I had to do an MRI of my brain, which is pretty scary when he tells you that. And I'm a little concerned, but just to make sure. So what they did is they take an MRI today. I took an MRI of the pituitary gland,
Right.
and my prolactin levels are a little bit higher. So I'm hoping that everything goes back in terms of that it's not an issue with the pituitary gland, because as you know, if the pituitary gland is not working properly, it throws everything off. I mean, not that you might have a problem, but your kidneys, everything else, it'll just mess up the numbers in terms of where they're supposed to be on a lower level. Now, being able to talk to my doctor, he really gives me the inside scoop in terms of why we're doing it versus just take an MRI. Like, or in my past, they would just tell me to do something, I would do it, and understanding why I'm doing it. He gave me such an explanation that I didn't feel too concerned about my situation. He was just like, just to be certain to get the levels down. You know what I mean? So, Petey, in terms of that, I know that you had an issue with your doctor or whatnot. When you go to a doctor, do you have an open communication with him?
Yeah, I mean, in the past I didn't actually. I would go to a regular doctor. That's the issue. You got to go to a special one because I went to a regular doctor one time. I actually got blood work. I got blood work one time to check my levels, and the doctor actually said my cortisol was high, and he didn't know why. And his excuse to me was he looked at me and said that he thought I was taking some kind of steroids.
Okay.
And immediately that was his assumption. And I don't really know too much about the science of how that affects you, but from what I've heard, it would actually be the opposite, and it could cause cortisol to be lower. So the normal doctor just assumes that right away.
So you see how the miscommunication or the assumption or almost attacking you like you're doing something that's illegal.
Like my doctor and my first doctor, the one I speak to is my surgeon. I don't speak to my doctor, I work with my surgeon. We become really close after the surgery because I want to be very informed of what goes on in my system and how can I prevent, take these preventative measures so that this don't happen again. So my doctor in the beginning when we spoke before, and he was very like, he would see my creatinine levels high and and I'm like, okay, so what does that mean? Oh, you hurry up and go to the hospital. Something's gonna happen to you, and I'm panicking and I'm stressed out, and he knows I'm already stressed out, and he sent me to the doctor, and I get to the emergency room and they throwing IVs. You know how many times I had IV? I had IVs in my in my arm so much that they bruised my vein. You know what happens when they always stick in you, and then what happens is one of them pulls out either too much and air gets in there and bacteria builds up, and what happens is one of the veins get really stiff. It's one is still stiff right now. It gets stiff to the point that it's painful to bend. You know what I'm saying? So I had IVs all the time. So all this IV and all this doctor visits made me made me aware of a lot of things going on in my system. And also that some of these. Go and get a specialist everywhere. If you're an athlete of any kind that, you work a lot, you break out down a lot of muscle tissue, make sure you have a doctor you can talk to, because it's the difference between that and you get a doctor that thinks you're an average person is going to make you just panic. And there was no reason for my panic.
No, absolutely.
My creatinine level's at 3,000. Now it's at 150.
And that's the thing, that's the biggest point I'm trying to make here is I'm very lucky. I met my doctor, my primary, at the gym. So he's a bodybuilder. The guy understands. A younger guy. I think I might be even older than him. I'm not sure. Shout out to Frank Supa. Thank you, man. I really appreciate everything you've done for me. But that he understands that. Also, we drew blood, and some things were certain high. But he goes, that might be your normal. When he told me that, that's when I knew that I had a good doctor.
Yes, your normal.
No,
you heard that word? Your normal.
When he said
that's
that,
what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I didn't say anything. He took my blood. He came back with the lab results, and when he came out with that to me, I knew this was the right person for me. Because he said they're a little high, but that might be your normal. Mm-hmm. Meaning, okay, you're taking consideration how personal it is for me. So that's something that I really liked about him. Definitely, if anybody needs a doctor, I'll definitely recommend him. Definitely to talk to him at least. Let's take a little break because we're definitely going to go over a lot of different things. We have product review.
Yes, sir.
And all different stuff. So
we're going to talk a little bit about
we'll take a quick
six-pack bags.
Yeah, six-pack bags. We'll take a little break, and when we come back, we'll go over everything we're going to go over and talk to these gentlemen a little bit more because they have a lot of projects that we're working on.
I got one with your name on it as well. See you guys soon.
I get it. Yeah.